So that was there. Once you work out that T plus X is the same as in normal Castilian CH, it's actually not hard to work out. That means coches. Yeah? Rentat coches, rented cars. Which is not so difficult once you crack certain aspects of the. A lot of it anyway is the same in Catalan as in Castilian. I said to my colleague who actually runs the office here, the host if you like the firm, last night, can I speak Plaza Pius XII. So I said to him, can I speak Castilian in this city? And he says, you are a provocateur. You're a provocateur. But basically, well, obviously you can. Cerveceria, I don't think was spelt quite the way. One of the things that I'm not 100%, I wouldn't choose Barcelona because of the fact that I want to learn Castilian properly, and things are spelt wrongly. It's a little bit like Bratislava. I like Bratislava, and I would talk to Slovaks in Czech and they would answer in Slovak. I pretty much understand what was going on. But you get things which, if you get used to them, they undermine the purity of your Czech. Sombola and what have you. It's not quite the same in some ways. They use words differently. Yeah? Slovak in itself is no doubt a lovely language, so is Catalan. But if you're actually trying to learn another language, well, you can get by with that language in these places. Like you can get by with Czech in Bratislava, you can get by with Castilian in Barcelona. But you're going to see lots of stuff written down. You're not going to know, hey, is that proper Castilian or is it spelled differently? And it's going to cause a bit of additional confusion. Better just, if you're interested in Castilian, stick to Castilian areas. If you're going to somewhere, if you've got the choice of where to go. I knew somebody sometime went on a Russian course, learning Russian. They went, of course, to, Minsk. And of course they found that they were really seriously inconvenienced, even though they had perfectly good Russian being taught to them in their class. When they were going around the place, they were seeing enough Belarusian to confuse them during the course of their learning. Now, if I go to Minsk now, my Russian's ingrained enough to know when I'm not seeing proper Russian, yes? And the fact that it's also in the Cyrillic alphabet doesn't change that, because the Russian is, very deeply ingrained, and I know immediately if something's not in Russian. But in the case of a learner, that could be harmful. So that's just something to think about. Anyway, it's a nice warm day. I'm slightly late. I spent a long time on a certain article. I meant to give it half an hour, I gave it more like an hour. It's the one on activation, the promised activation article. If you want to look it up, you'll probably be seeing this. I mean, it is the last day of May in 2014 today. But at current rates of upload, I'll be lucky to get this film that I'm now doing for you uploaded anytime before early 2016. If you're seeing this already in 2015 as a recent upload, it means I'm catching up with myself. I can't really even imagine that. What is this? Oh, Jehovah's Witnesses. I wish I had time to engage them, but I don't, unfortunately. If anybody wants to know how I engage Jehovah's Witnesses, you'll find that easily enough on my channel. But I don't have time to even get into that now, because as I was saying, I'm slightly late. That's a pity. I could have given them some truth. But if you want truth about language learning, at least, there's something about that on hooliganov.tv. You'll be able to see it and hopefully enjoy it, hopefully take something from it, especially if you're of the opinion that you need to be activating all the time, even in the course of learning. So, tengo cuatro hijos. I've got 4 children. This is a thing. If you've got 4 children, well, difficult to believe, isn't it, that the Spanish government doesn't give help to 4 children, and that she needs to be sitting there asking us to pay double taxes. I think, is that a neighbour? I also wrote a comment on blog answering somebody who was talking about use of terminology. Things like when Christians call each other or other people brother, friend, father, neighbour. These appellations, these titles for people, to whom do they apply? I wrote a comment. It wasn't a full blog post, but I wrote a comment in response to somebody else. If you look around on Hooliganov TV, you'll see things that hopefully, even in the comment sections as well, will hopefully be interesting comments, things that you won't be able to read in other places. I'm not saying anywhere else, because the internet's full of surprises, but hopefully you would enjoy, the sort of people that enjoy watching this stuff will also enjoy that. Let's put it that way. I don't want to over-promise things. I'm not saying it's for everybody, but hopefully a broad variety of people find something, and there's some people find a lot of things to appeal to them there that they might not necessarily find everywhere. Maybe that's a fair way of putting it. Okay. What I'm doing, of course, is showing the walk in this bit that I have between the Hotel Gran Hotel Princesa Sofia, which is where I'm lodged, and the Hilton, which is where the conference actually is. And that's a good 10-minute walk along this very pleasant street, Avenida Diagonal, one of the most famous streets, obviously not the real most famous streets like the Ramblas, but probably maybe second most famous street of Barcelona. I think it's good when you have a road like this in a city, you know, a long straight one that kind of provides a certain axis, I'd say, and it's like an axis going right the way across. Everybody can measure where they are by the nearest point on Avenida Diagonal. Right, I remember from walking back last night, I didn't walk there because there was a rainstorm, but I walked back and I remember passing this, so it's not far now. However, I'm supposed to be there at 12 and it's now pretty much 12. I might be a couple of minutes late. It's just around the next corner basically. So when I come to Spain, I often see these quite nice tents in which they make shops. Well, now you can understand why in Spanish the term for a shop is indeed tienda, which comes from the word tent. It's cognate with the English word tent. So to have a shop in a tent is a traditional Spanish thing. You'll see it a lot, and this gives you a very, very clear reason why when you, there's La Sagrada Familia on a t-shirt, why it is that in the Spanish language, the word shop isn't cognate with the word for cellar, as it is in many Slavonic languages, like sklep. The Polish word for shop is the Czech word for a cellar. Tienda in Spanish is shop and also means tent and comes from the word for tent. Isn't that beautiful? Look at them. Aren't they lovely? They're lovely, aren't they? Even though I'm late, I want to take a couple of seconds and look at them. Is that disrespectful? I don't know. Disrespectful to one, set respectful to another, I suppose. Okay, that's it. I'm here. Thank you.